All right. Sunday Dinner album Adrenaline Rush by Twista, the I can't quite say famous, but like well-known Chicago rapper.
Yeah.
Um this was my choice. So did you have any questions for me?
Uh, yeah. So this album came out in '97.
Yeah.
We were pretty young. So how old were you when you first heard this album?
Oh, 10. I think it was
Okay.
either yeah, I have an older brother who's 11 years older than me.
But so yeah, was he bumping it?
Yeah. And then my sister, who's 8 years older than me, her little high school boyfriend was like trying to be a
Hmm.
rapper. He's actually pretty good, but he also liked Twista a lot. So that's kind of
Got you.
where I've always had like a I've always had an appreciation for Twista because he's one of the rare rappers with a gimmick who can actually put together a project.
Right.
Most rappers with,
That's what I was gonna say.
like Nate Dogg, he has a gimmick, never put together a total album.
Hmm.
Um, Corrupt gimmick, never really put together a whole like some rappers are
Yeah.
just better at making features.
Correct.
Um, I Twista, like his first two albums, uh, this one, Adrenaline Rush and Kamikaze are like actual full complete projects. And I just thought that was really cool that a rapper with a very specific gimmick could put together a
Right.
project, and he doesn't betray the gimmick. Like he's himself on all these tracks.
Right. Correct. That's very
And
true.
it doesn't get old, and it's actually about stuff, and I like that. I like the album. So yeah, I was put
Okay.
onto it by my older brother and my sister's high school boyfriend at the time.
Okay. Let's see here. So this album, it has like multiple runs in it where of like really good songs together, like clusters of like two or three songs.
Yeah,
Which run is your favorite?
I would say Adrenaline Rush to Overdose, I think it is. Let's see.
Hmm.
Oh, there we go. Adrenaline Rush, Death Before Dishonor, It Feels So Good, Overdose. Probably if we just took it to three, It Feels So
Yeah.
Good, Overdose, Mobster's Anthem.
Hmm.
Uh I love It Feels So Good. I miss this in hip hop when uh rappers would get an R&B woman or dude on the hook and
Right.
actually make a song that was befitting an R&B hook.
Beat. Yeah.
Like, they didn't just make killer music with a melodic,
Right.
chorus. It just like he was still a rapper, but like he actually he took it and he made a song out of it.
Yeah.
Which especially coming from, he's started with Do or Die, which is like basically pimp music. And so
Okay. That
so
explains a lot.
yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, he started with Do or Die, that song Do You. You know Do or Die songs if you listen to him. But and so
Okay.
this is like he kind of broke out and went solo. And I just think that Chicago in general kind of gets disrespected on the hip hop. I mean,
Hell
Kanye,
yeah.
Kanye and Twista, uh, obviously Kanye is immensely more talented than Twista, but like,
Right.
those two, you put those two up against most other cities' best. It's just I don't like how Chicago
Hmm.
gets overlooked in the conversation, and I don't know why. But
Agreed.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very Chicago album. It's maybe it's just me because I listen to it during cold weather, but it feels like cold weather a little bit.
It
And
does.
yeah, I don't know. It just reminded me of my childhood.
Interesting. Yeah. So I actually thought the same way. I was listening to this yesterday. I was going for a walk, and I was like, "It's sunny out. I don't need to be hearing this album," so I
Yeah,
turned it off. But like at night, it bumps. Like
yeah. I listened to
like
it at
this
the
album was made
gym.
for like driving in the car at night.
Yeah, and it just um get it wet in emotions. Like, this is something for the
Yeah.
ladies.
Yeah.
It's iconic. One morning I woke up next to a thick bitch, took a shower, dried off, busted gold teeth like Slick Rick. We've all been there. So,
Yeah. I I'm glad you pointed out the Chicago thing because I love Chicago rappers and just Chicago, like Chicago style rap. I
yeah.
feel like it's super slept on. I'm even like now it's more of like the drill shit, but I do love the drill style of rapping if it's done
King
well.
Von could rap. He just,
King Von could he slid. I listen to him a lot still to this day. He was a terrible person and he was murdered a lot of people, but that nigga could rap his ass off.
allegedly,
Um,
well,
yeah,
he can't sue
allegedly.
us.
Yeah, what's he gonna do? Um, No disrespect to his family. But yeah, and you kind of hear the influence, like even just the Midwest rappers in general. Like there's that one song, I think it's Corrupt World, where you could almost like hear like if you were to put a verse, leave space on the track for like another verse or feature,
Yeah.
you could almost hear Bone Thugs and Harmony on that track. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
for
Like it
sure.
sounded a lot like that to me. Because I just really love like that sound, and I really miss and appreciate the time where hip hop was very regional, where
Yeah.
like New York had their style with the wordplay and the bars, and Chicago was, with the cool beat and the samples and the mid tempo flow, and you got the West Coast shit with the synths and the drums, and I feel like that's Atlanta with just kind of that sort of DC, you got the go go. Atlanta's got kind of a amalgamation of all of them together a little bit before trap was really big. So I
Yeah,
miss
for
that sound
me,
in music.
I had that note too, where we're like, I miss the regional. Well, that's the problem with the internet is it just collapses the walls. And
Correct.
like I'm sure Twista came up, only people around him was listening to Twista. You heard the big artists from other cities, but
Right.
and so that created almost like a petri dish that wasn't like exposed to
Hmm.
light, and it just kind of grew into this organic
Yeah.
energy and sound that you can almost hear across the spectrum of the different records. And I miss that. And I think
Yeah.
I think we're getting back to it. I think GNX kind of sparked because
Yeah.
for
Hell yeah.
about 15 years everything sounded like Atlanta. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm so tired of Atlanta rap
They
music.
just picked the wrong city to steal everything from. I feel like that.
I
I'd rather hear
just
everybody sound like New Yorkers because I love the lyrical style there from there. Um,
just tired of it all. And so I think we said on a previous pod that Kendrick made rappers care again, and I think Kendrick
yeah.
might have made rap regional again. So
Yes.
he's really say he put hip hop on his back, and we'll see
Yeah.
where it goes from here.
He undid a lot of what a certain artist has done to hip hop lately.
Yeah,
I actually, it's funny you say that because I do think like we talk about globalization and cultural appropriation, more so
yeah,
globalization in what I'm about to say, but like globalization does impact everything, like because the world is so much smaller.
yeah,
That's why every like K-pop, what I'm saying, like there are people in Korea who dress like people from Atlanta and
yeah.
sound just like that when they don't even speak the same language. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You know what I
and that's
heard?
kind of what hip hop has happened to hip hop.
I heard Teddy Riley is in Korea getting a bag selling them 80s and 90s throwaway tracks. Like
Really? That's
like
funny.
New Jack Swing, just like shit that never
Hmm.
made albums. He's over there just cash because no one wants like people don't want R&B anymore here.
That is true.
And so people are mad at him for, I guess, selling out the culture. He like, nigga, yeah, you buy it. Shit.
You
Like,
right.
like I tried to
Make
sell it
some
to y'all.
shit.
Y'all didn't want it. No one wants to hear it. So what I'm supposed to starve? He over in I heard he over in Korea running it up, just selling them
Shit.
shit that didn't make Don't Be Cruel. Like
That's funny. That is hilarious.
like
I gotta look some of that shit up.
good for him, because if people don't
Yeah.
people don't I mean, I'm gonna save this. I mean, I went on this rant last week, but people
Mhm.
stop appreciating rap, and if you in
They
R&B,
did.
and so if you're not gonna appreciate it, you think anybody can do it. Well, fuck it. I'll just go take it to someone who will. And them Koreans
I feel you.
appreciate it. They be over there stealing all the '90s boy bands. Uh,
Everything. They
they
made
didn't.
they made Y2K a lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Somebody got to want it. Oh, what was your favorite track on the album?
Um, that's tough. I think I'd probably go. Is it Mobster's Anthem that has the Dr. Dre sample?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
You can die with the bullets high, no regret you fucking with a
Yeah,
monster.
yeah, that one. I'd say Unsolved Mystery is a close second. I fuck with Adrenaline Rush too. I love that
Yeah.
song a lot. But I would take Death Before Dishonor over Adrenaline Rush.
For me, I like the lady song, so it's Get It Wet, Emotions, It Feels So Good, probably my top three. I love Adrenaline Rush. I love Overdose. I love Death Before Dishonor. There's
Hmm.
really only one skip for me in this corrupt world. So,
Really? Okay.
I mean, the intro is just an intro. I could have did with
Yeah, I wasn't
half the
crazy about Get Her in
skits.
the Mood.
Yeah, one isn't that great either. They could have cut half the
Yeah.
skits, but they weren't really separate tracks. They were
Put in the
interwoven
outros on
within
the
the tracks.
songs.
And so,
Yeah.
which makes it hard to build a playlist around some of these songs because like there's like 45 seconds of nothing, not music at the
At,
end of
at
every
at the
song.
end of each song.
And so, well,
Yeah.
that, I actually appreciate that because that gets me away from playlist culture because I fall victim to it too.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you listen to it as the artist intended in the album
Intended.
format. And that's kind of, before we had 8 tracks, which was just one long album, one long song.
Right.
And so you couldn't skip around. And then CDs made it a little bit easier to skip around. And now we're
Hmm.
at the point now where you don't even have to listen to the album. You can just pick one song and put it with this
Correct.
song and that song. And we've
Hmm.
totally gotten away from albums mattering. And even though I
Yeah.
find it annoying, I do kind of like that it reminds me of a time when albums matter and you actually couldn't just pick a song out of there because it would fuck you be in the shower and there'd be 45 seconds of some weird sex skit at the end of a song that you don't want to
Right.
hear. And it's like, well, that was part out of context. It's weird, but that's part of an album.
Yep. I
So,
was playing the album today on my Bluetooth or on my record player,
yeah.
connect to the Bluetooth, and the skit came on. I just skip, skip, skip,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's just moaning in my room just sounds crazy.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm glad that hip hop. I'm kind of glad we got away from skits. I think that's the
Yeah,
thing
me too.
the kids got right. We don't really need to hear you simulate
Talking.
sex, yeah, or like
Yeah.
acting often poorly on wax.
Yes, that is true.
So, I mean, I think Good Kid, Mad City did it well. I think this album did it
Mhm.
well, but most people didn't. And when you go back to listen to 90s albums, you're like, they could have kept that. I don't really need this.
Yeah, because it's a lot of it is like 10 minutes of fluff at
Yeah.
the that you
They
could have
could have
shaved off the
kept
album.
that. Yeah. Anything else for this album?
Yeah, actually, so I was gonna ask you, so well, a couple of questions. So I've been thinking about that lately where like I feel like we're in an ADHD driven or simulated society, I'll say. And I know for me, like a lot of times I have a hard time finishing albums because it's
Yeah.
like, damn, 15 songs in 40 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever case may be, whatever. And we talk about the CD and the 8 track. Made me think about like, my record player, and it's like, when you put a record on, you literally, you can't skip. You're like
Right.
stuck in that time period, which is what the album experience is supposed to be. So I wanted to ask you, have you found yourself having an easier or harder time finishing or getting through albums from just playing them straight through the way the artist intended, compared to maybe when you were a kid and we just had the CD and you would just play the whole thing?
Harder, yes, but I am intentional about avoiding it. Obviously, I listen to playlists. I'm not a monk. Of course,
Yeah.
everyone does. But if I'm in office, like oftentimes I just don't feel like picking a song. I call it decision fatigue.
Yeah.
And like picking a new song is just another decision I have to make. And oftentimes, if
Hmm.
I'm like working or I'm at the gym, that's enough of a cognitive burden to where I don't want to
Right.
have to pick a song. So I will just put on an album that I know I like. Some of my go-tos are Drake's Nothing Was the Same, Good Kid, Mad City, DMX's It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Jay-Z's Reasonable
Hmm.
Doubt, this Adrenaline Rush, like albums that I know I'm gonna like 99% of the songs on it. And
Right.
so I could start them when I walk into the gym, and that's an hour where I don't have to make another decision other than workout. That's an hour where I'm working at home and I don't have to make a decision. Because if you just put on a playlist, you're almost trained to even a song I put on the playlist, I might not want to hear right now. And then I'll
Right.
skip it. And then I'm
Yeah.
stopping working, and that's cutting that efficiency down. Or I'm stopping editing the podcast, and that's cutting that down. And it's just like, I don't want to make those decisions. I just want to put an album on
I agree.
and take that off the table while I'm focusing on this.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, sometimes I'm better about it than I used to be because I get decision fatigue and just don't want to sit here and I just want one less decision to make. And then it's like every 3 minutes I got to
Yeah.
make another decision, and it's like I don't want to do this. I just want to put an album on.
No, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Like I'll be listening to a playlist or an album, and I'm like, nah, I want to hear this song. And then once that song is over, you got to pick another song. So you're
Yeah,
stopping working and typing to pick that song, or then you're like, no, I need something longer so I can get my rhythm back to work. So you find a long YouTube video. Then
yeah,
once you get to done with that video, you got to find another long YouTube video. And then you got to find a podcast because you're like, nope, that's not long enough to hold my attention span to get through this work that I have to do.
yeah,
So you spend an hour and a half picking shit. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think maybe I've said this before on the pod, I'm becoming old, repeating myself, but like it was better when TV just told you what you're watching. When you sat down at
hmm
8 o'clock and you just watched on TV, because the last thing I want to do tonight after working after going to the gym, after cooking, after eating, after folding laundry, after recording this podcast, after getting you the raw files, is sit down on my couch and make a decision on what to watch. That's the
Right.
fucking last thing I want to do is make
Yep.
another decision. I just want to sit down and turn to a channel and have it be Jamie Foxx reruns, have it be Martin reruns. And I don't
Yep.
want to pick which episode I want to watch because if I go to a streamer, now I have to pick an
Gotta
episode.
pick the episode.
I just want it to be on my goddamn TV. And I just,
I agree.
I'm just
Yeah.
tired of making decisions.
It's funny. So there's a phenomenon behind that where I saw something where it said like you can tell whether or not you're like tired or anxious by what you're watching or read or on TV or like as a TV show or movie. Like basically,
Yeah.
like the concept was if you're watching a lot of old stuff, you're either really just tired of making decisions or you're just really anxious and you need to watch something that is soothing to you because you know how it's going to end. Whereas watching a new show evokes new emotions and it sparks your anxiety because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, there's dramatic irony. Oh, don't go through the door. No, open that door. No, she loves you. Why, don't leave her. You know, that kind of
Right.
shit. And it's a lot like that, like with TV shows. Like I find myself a lot of times just rewatching the same shit over and over again. And I'll tell myself I want to watch a new show, but I don't really want to watch a new show because then I got to pick a new show to watch. But there's so many new shows to watch, I don't know which one to watch.
And none of them are any good because most of them are designed and written knowing you're not really paying attention.
Right.
Like I can tell the movie or TV show is Netflix without even knowing. Like if you just blind testing, I can tell because I
Hmm.
can tell when a show is written with the knowing the audience is scrolling their phone the whole time. Movies made
Correct.
for the theater are just different than movies made for Netflix, not in quality, but in the way it's written.
Hmm.
There's so
There's more
much.
dialogue and exposition in the Netflix stuff.
Correct. They're breaking the fourth wall without, cartoonishly doing it like the 90s sitcoms would. They're
Right.
just like walking in rooms and being like, "Oh, did you talk to Adam, the research assistant today?" And it's like you wouldn't just yell out their job title. No one does that.
Right.
You two work together. You know his job title. You're doing that because you know I'm scrolling my phone while I'm watching it, and you need to tell me
Right.
who this person is.
Every
Uh,
5 seconds.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, I don't. I tweeted earlier like this highly personalized atomization of entertainment is not it's more options, but it's not better. And also we
Yeah.
lose a lot that it made more sense when we all pooled our money together and bought cable packages and there was 100
Hmm.
channels and you liked some, I liked some of them I didn't watch, some I didn't watch, but it was all funded and there was something for everyone. And it was
Yeah.
almost like cable TV was almost like a library where everyone puts in their money and every book there isn't for you, but we all pulled
Right.
it together so we all could have a book for us.
Can have a book to read.
And over because we were all pulling from the same 1,000 books, maybe 20 would pop and that would give us something to discuss that we all read those 20. But there
Hmm.
might have been five that no one else liked but me, but I could get them. But if everyone's doing their own thing and highly personalized and I sign up for this streamer, you sign up for that
Yep.
streamer, that book probably never even gets written because there's no money in making a book with an audience of just me.
Yep.
But if everyone pulls their money together and 1,000 writers can write 1,000 books because it's all funded, then that specialized book gets made for me because it didn't have to turn a profit because all the money was pulled together.
Right.
Um, that's
Yeah,
how
that's why I
journalism was.
like.
Newspapers were funded by the classified section. People would need to sell a car, need to buy an ad in the newspaper. That's what
Mhm.
funded journalism. It wasn't, people paying 50 cents for the paper, but
Right.
like the news was what people needed, but the funding came from everyone pulling their money together, one by the paper and then the classified ads. And then Facebook
Correct.
ruined that. And so now we don't have news
Yeah, and it
because
makes
no
me
one
think
wants to
too of
actually
like
pay for news because we never had to.
yeah, it makes me think too of now. It's also like why certain things have become such phenomenons in society now
Yeah.
and part of the lexicon. Like, you said it was such a big deal because everybody saw it because everybody wanted to talk about it, and so everybody, people that maybe there may have been people who didn't want to go see it, but everybody in their life was talking about it, saying you got to see it,
Yeah.
and you didn't want to be left out of the conversation, so you had to go see the movie to have something to add to the conversation. Like even like the show Love Island just wrapped up. They did their reunion I think like last week or yeah, about a week ago. And then, everybody was talking about it when the show was like airing live. It was an episode every night, like throughout the week for like 5, 6 weeks. Like all my friends were talking about it, and it's like, oh, okay, I gotta watch it.
Right.
Or people who I knew were watching the show, they needed someone to talk about the show with. So I watched it so they would have someone to talk about it with. Like, that sense of community really is lost from the entertainment space because there is so many options, and it just makes it impossible to get the full experience of enjoying art because you can't. talk about it with anybody
Yeah.
because everybody's watching different shit.
The water cooler was important, and I think
Yeah.
people, especially coming out of COVID, crave that communal desire, but they don't know how to voice it. And they also just don't, people think they're losing something when they lose choice, and they don't see what they're
Hmm.
gaining by, you know, having to maybe watch something that you never would have watched before, but you might end up enjoying it because that was all that was on TV.
Right.
You even see it in like books, even reading books, like the Kindleification of where you only read things that were suggested to you from the algorithm. Whereas like when I
Right.
was a kid, I went to the library and I just picked stuff. Or
Hmm.
like, you know, sitting around, I've read all my books. Well, let me go grab my mom's magazines. I was just reading. I just wanted to read.
Yep.
And like that made me a more well-rounded person. Like you think I would you think a 12-year-old right now on his own accord would go pick up a magazine about floral patterns? No. But that was what was
Right.
in the crib, and I was done reading
Yep.
all of my books and all my comics or whatever. I didn't read comics, but like all of my stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. And so I just wanted to keep reading, and I didn't have an iPad to feed me dopamine, so I needed something to entertain myself. And so
Yeah.
like the communal stuff matters, and the idea that the ability to run across something that isn't already tailored to your sensibilities, it mattered. Like it really
Yeah.
did, and I think people don't realize how much they miss it.
Yeah. The algorithm has, and
Fried our
just the
brains.
concept of it. Yeah. Yeah. And the concept of an algorithm has just ruined, has killed kind of it's killed curiosity basically.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really get to be like, okay, like you read about like the Kindle shit. Like I do like Audible and
Yep.
Kindle. And so I try to like throw in random shit in my library just so I can make sure that my algorithm has a good balance of topics and content and genres because you don't want to I don't want to I can't have all fucking Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones
Yep.
in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I love those books, but well, I haven't read Lord of the Rings yet, but you know what I'm saying? I love the series and shit, but I don't want to just that to be the only thing comes up as a suggestion when I'm looking for something new to read or something new to experience or learn about.
How many songs do you like because you bought it? Because, you're a kid with a limited budget. You might have five CDs to your name
Hmm.
and you just listen to those five CDs over and over again. And so there's an album cut that resonates with you if
Yep.
it came out today, well, let's do it. You would
Correct.
put that album on, that shit garbage. Next one, 30 seconds, that shit
Hmm.
trash. Next one, okay, this one cool. I'll put this one on the playlist. Next one, oh, that's garbage. Skip, like
Yep.
you can give it time to learn the album, the songs, the musicality of it. Um,
Yes.
but anything else for this album? We're way off topic.
Correct. We might need to throw that we might need to add that to what's on our mind.
Yeah.
Anything else? Um, nah, I think that was it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got on this album.
All right. What do we listen
Um,
to next week?
Next week we've talked about this album, but we have not done this album. We're gonna do Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Okie doke. Next week, people, we are listening to the illustrious Kanye West. We're not going to put a disclaimer every time we say his name. We
Yeah,
know
we're not.
I'm sorry. We cannot do this every time. He is a musician. We know he's gone off the deep end.
Yes,
We're not going
but
to do
this was
this every
before
time.
that, and it is what it is.
Going forward, we're just going to say him and talk about what we want to talk about. We're not going to
Yes.
fill you with 30 seconds of disclaimer. So, next week, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Mr. Kanye West. You guys know where to find it. Let's do it ahead of time so you can enjoy the show with us in real time.